How's it going, YouTube? This is Chris, Young Professional Dad, and I'm back with another knife video, and I've got a good one. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is like my fourth video that I've done tonight, so I'm a little burnt out and exhausted, but I'm still excited to share with you a few things that I've put together for you, and I can't wait to get to them. Before I do though, I want to tell you all about my contest, like always. January the 3rd, 2025 is just around the corner. Holiday seasons are upon us, and very soon, someone is going to be getting a holiday gift from me. The winner is going to be getting a $200 budget to Blade HQ for the knife or knives of their choice. It's my way of giving back to all those people who have tuned in, liked, subscribed, and commented on my videos. I greatly appreciate all the feedback that I'm getting, all the attention that you all are giving me to my videos, and I can't say thank you enough. It's very rewarding and humbling. If nothing more, I enjoy doing this just for myself so I can ramble on about my knives, even if I'm just staring at a camera and watching it back myself. I love talking about knives, and the fact that people out there are actually enjoying what I have to say and possibly even learning from it, I mean, I couldn't ask for more. So January the 3rd, 2025, someone is going to be getting a $200 budget to Blade HQ from me. Again, you can go with one knife, two knives, five knives, I don't care. It's a $200 budget and it's your money to spend. January the 3rd, 2025. All you have to do to enter is like my video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. Any one of my videos, go back through. I've got tons of videos out there right now. I'm putting new videos out every day, putting shorts out, videos out, and I'm going to start continuing to do that more and more often. So like my video, any of them, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment, and you are entered. And January the 3rd, 2025, someone is going to be getting a budget to $200 to Blade HQ on me, and I can't wait to do it. Now, having said that, I've got a really good video for you tonight. Before I get into that, I've got an unboxing to do. I love doing these unboxings. You know, ordering knives, getting them in, experiencing them for the first time, it's something that I've always enjoyed doing since I started collecting. I never realized that I could actually put this on video and allow other people to enjoy that with me. And since I've started doing this, it's been absolutely amazing. It's been a great experience. I love it. I love the feedback. People are giving me other knife suggestions and you know, throwing different ideas out there at me. I've ordered a lot of those knives. I'm going to be ordering more of them. And this is just a great give and take experience with you all that I'm enjoying. So thank you all for that. I really do appreciate it. Now, to open this box tonight, and I have to be honest, normally I have far more knives to open. Tonight there's only two, but I've got some boxes coming that you guys are going to enjoy in the coming days. But in this box there's only two knives, so I'm actually going to go ahead and open those before I get into the context of tonight's video. To open this box, I'm going to be using my Jack Wolf Little Bro slip joint knife. This sucker is gorgeous with its nebula fat carbon, its bead blasted titanium bolsters, even the hardware like the pins and the screws are titanium, polished titanium. It's got Bowler M390 steel. I think the blade is 2.7 inches or 2.6 inches. Let me just check that out and make sure. I don't want to steer you wrong. Normally I write this stuff down. 2.7 inches long. This is a phenomenal little knife. It is gorgeous. It is a work of art. It's a non-locking slip joint that's under 3 inches, so it will fit a lot of your, again, I'm not a lawyer, so don't quote me on any of these things, but a lot of your restricted, I'm sorry, like I said, I've been doing videos all day. A lot of your restricted carry areas, this might still fit your regulations because it's a sub 3-inch knife and it's non-locking. I don't know if that's California legal or anything like that. I don't know what the limits are for their blades there, but I know you can't have a locking blade, and this would fit for that part. But this is a phenomenal knife. They are not cheap. They're $300. and they are worth every penny of it. This is not a knife. This is a work of art. Jack Wolf knocks it out of the park every single time. It comes with a really high quality leather pocket sheath that you can just slip in and out of your pocket. Just a really good knife. Look at that. That nebula carbon, the way that it glistens in the camera. It shines and shimmers. Fantastic knife. I love this knife. All right, so having said that, let's go ahead and cut some. Man, it's sharp too. I mean, this thing is sharp. All right, so I'm gonna put you down, work of art. It's almost sad that I have such an affinity and love for my knives, but I don't apologize for it, guys. Just joking. It's not that obsessive, but I do enjoy my knives. I love them a lot. But if you guys have been watching my videos, you already know that. I'm a fanatic over my knives. All right, so we throw that away. All right, so as we saw, any of you all have been watching my videos for a while, you've seen me get a lot of these already. Most of them were the Velcro patches, but now they went to the stickers. It says presidents are temporary, knives are every day. They're still giving these out even though the election is over. Okay, I've got tons of them, I'll keep it. All right, so I've got two knives. I'm gonna do one of them second. Let's do this one first. This is a Petrified fish. Now, Petrified fish makes some really, really good budget knives. If you are looking for a budget knife that has a look and feel of a higher end premium knife, Petrified fish, they knock it out of the park almost every time. Their fit and finish, even on budget ended knives, is really high end. I really like the Petrified fish. Even their packaging, it's really nice. They've got a good sticker here, and if you watch my videos, you know how I feel about my stickers. A wrapped and folded, really nice microfiber cloth there. We have got a moisture pack. We have got a package of extra hardware, and here we go. Now, I can already tell you this knife has some weight to it, which I already knew that. It's almost 5 ounces. This is called the Victor. The Petrified Fish Victor. This is a behemoth of a knife. Wow. Guys, I don't know if you can see this, the quality of this knife in the camera, but the fit and finish on this is out of the park. Wow. Brown micarta handles. It's K110 steel, K110 steel. It is a liner lock. Now, it's brown micarta scales over steel liners. Wow, it is on bearings, and you can tell that action is smooth. This thing is heavy. Listen, it's so heavy. A lot of the weight is in the blade as you flip it. Even though that action is really good, look how smooth that is, the closing. As you flip it, you can literally feel the weight in the blade as you flip it open. You can feel the weight in the blade. That's a pretty thick blade stock there. This is a clip point blade. It is a right-handed only tip up carry. Stonewash clip point blade, micarta over K110 steel, 8.15 inches long with a 3.58 inch blade, and it weighs 4.94 ounces. So, I mean, right at 5 ounces. And I'm gonna tell you, you feel every bit of it. This knife, I say this all the time, and I tell you guys, if there's a knife that I'm not very impressed with, I'll let you know. If I expected more out of it, I'll let you know. I'll also let you know when I'm blown away by a knife. This knife has blown me away. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what, look at the spacer right there. It's got a really nice spacer in there. Is that micarta also? Yeah, that's a micarta spacer. Wow. The fit and finish on this thing is great. This thing is $42. And it is gigantic. I'm going to tell you right now, look how big that is in my hands. And I've got big hands, as you guys have heard me talk many times. This is a Bowie style knife for a pocket knife. I'm going to tell you right now, of all of the knives that I have opened in these boxes and stuff and doing these boxing openings, this is the first one that I've opened that has just screamed at me, this is an excellent Christmas gift. I am probably going to order a few of these and give these away as Christmas gifts. This is a nice freaking knife. I like it a lot. Now it's got, it's not really a blood groove right there, but it's more of a thumb groove for the thumb opening, because it's got a low profile flipper and it's got a thumb groove right there for thumb opening, but I'm not very good at that, as you all have heard me talk about many times. But the action is phenomenal. I'm blown away by this knife. I am absolutely stunned by how much you get for $42 with this thing. Let me see. Ooh, that's got an edge too. That is razor sharp. I told you, Petrified fish, before I even opened them up, Petrified fish, their fit and finish is great. They have budget knives that feel really premium. They really do. Now this next knife, this knife would have went in a previous video that I done where you get high-end materials for sub $100 prices. This knife would have been in that. This is the Voss Steed Mini Nightshade. I apologize, having trouble getting it out. The Voss Steed Mini Nightshade. Look at that nice box. That's a nice box, almost like a jewelry box. Cool little tin. Let's see, we get a booklet, a really nice sticker, extra hardware and stuff there, and it wouldn't be a knife unboxing without a ton of these microfiber cloths. That's a really nice tin. That's a really nice tin right there. But this is the Mini Nightshade. All right. I was not expecting it to be this small. Okay, so, all right. Now, this is the Mini Nightshade. Look at that carbon fiber. That's just glistening off the screen. Excellent action. This is on bearings. This has got an axis lock. I like the orange hardware that pops against that carbon fiber. Now this is S35 VN steel. So you're getting carbon fiber and you're getting S35 VN steel. You're getting it on bearings, dual thumb studs. Now this is reversible, left or right-handed pocket clip. It says right-handed only, but that's not right, because there's literally holes right there to where you can do left or right-handed, so it's marked wrong in the book. This is steel liners with fiber carbon scales over top of it, S35 VN, stone wash blade, drop point, 6.31 inches overall, with a 2.6 inch sub 3 inch blade. That's another one of those sub 3 inches blade, and it's 1.65 ounces. I mean, this thing is small and light. Let me show you how small it is in my hands. I mean, it is really, really small. Like, my finger doesn't even have a spot on it. The jimping is only on the liners right here, and they only go back. The steel liners do not go the extent of the entire scales. They only go right past, like a lot of your knives do. The steel liners only go past the locking mechanism. That's how these are. I mean, it is beautiful. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Look at that. That is gorgeous. It is somewhat deep carry. The screws are inset into the handle. I like that. I like the orange spacers there. Gorgeous knife. I mean, this thing is really, really pretty. This is a pretty knife. Great action. Great action. Smooth on the drop. Deep carry pocket clip. Carbon fiber. I mean, it's a really nice knife. I don't like it because it's so small. I mean, I like the knife, obviously, but this is my downfall with this is how small it is. I like the shape of the blade and everything. I just got a mini grouper not too long ago, if you'll remember. And this is a lot like that mini grouper, except for the mini grouper was big. It was not like this. I kind of expected this to be kind of like that mini grouper. I do have a regular size Nightshade on its way with, I think, titanium handles. And I can't remember what steel it is, but I've got a regular Nightshade coming out. I can't wait to open that one up for you. But this is gorgeous. Beautiful knife. The fit and finish is next level. Next level. It's comes in at $99 exactly. So you're getting carbon fiber with S35VN for on bearings for sub $100. So this is another one of those knives where you can get high-end materials, blade materials and stuff, for under $100. So you don't have to spend that high, you know, $200 like we did in last night's video, that really high-end price to get you some really good blade steel or whatever. Now granted, this is a little small, but most people don't have hands my size. Most people, this would be great for them. Most people, this would be just fine in the size. This would be a really good EDC knife. A really good EDC knife. Even though the shape of the blade is a little awkward, it's got a lot of cutting edge right there. There's a lot of cutting edge right there. So it's great EDC knife. Fantastic. I love the orange. The orange really pops on that carbon fiber. The packaging is really nice. I mean, Voss Steed is Voss Steed's another one of those. I've told you all about the race to the bottom before. A race to the bottom does not mean it's a drop in quality or materials. A race to the bottom means the more companies right now that are putting out these knives that look really premium and have that premium feel, but at competitive prices, it's forcing these other companies that charge more money to drop their price, not their quality, because the other guys are still putting out the good quality. So they have to still put out the good quality, but they have to lower their price. So it's a race to the bottom in the price, not in the quality. We just looked at Petrified fish. That is, I mean, this is flipping nice. I wish you guys could experience this in your hand. That's the Petrified Fish Victor. Highly recommend that knife. Highly recommend it. And the Voss Steed Mini Nightshade. Really nice knife. Pretty. Too small for me, but that'd be a great knife. I do have a lot of unboxings coming up here soon. But tonight what I wanted to talk to you guys about is something a little bit different. I've been going back and forth in some comments with a really cool guy from Australia, and we have talked about a few things. And it's had this this idea of this video on my mind, and I wanted to do this video. The Benchmade Bugout is one of the top selling knives on the market right now. I've got to loosen this thing up or oil it because the action is just so sticky right now. It's not wanting to drop and stuff. But it's one of the top selling EDC knives out there right now. Benchmade is high quality. These things are phenomenal. This is S30V steel, dual thumb studs. It's got Benchmade's famous access lock. It's got a deep carry pocket clip that is reversible left or right handed. It's only tip up. It's got these extremely Benchmade though, it's extremely thin stock. This thing is a slicer, razor sharp. It's got the steel liners that only go back past the lock, just like that Voss Steed did. It's got really nice blue aluminum spacers in there. Let me see. I can't remember how long the blade is. Let me pull up my stats here, and we will start going through these knives. This thing, S30V steel, textured blue Grivery handles. So these are Grivery scales, Grivex, Grivery, This is 7.46 overall with the 3.24 inch blade. Now I'm interested in seeing the exact weight on this. 1.85 ounces, while that knife that I showed you a while ago was 1.95 ounces. So it's you know, this thing is light. I mean, it is light. But here's the thing that people don't like about this, and it's the unspoken thing that nobody ever wants to say out loud or anything like that, but these things feel like they're going to break in your hands. That's just the truth of it. That's S30V is excellent, tough steel. It's really tough stainless steel. It's going to take some beatings and stuff, but, you know, here's the thing. People don't complain about the Benchmade because of the blade, because it's good steel, it's a slicer. People that don't like I apologize, I don't mean people don't complain about Benchmade because of the steel. People don't complain about the Bugout because of the steel. People complain about the Bugout because of these handles right here. Now, people are putting titanium handles and different things like that aftermarket, and there's even some options that you can get the Bugout with those handles right from the manufacturer. So they have different options out there. Now, those are costing you almost $300. Or you can get one like this for, I think that I paid $170 for this thing, and then you can pay you know, $80-$100 for the scales and put them on yourself, or you can just order them from the manufacturer and pay that price once. Buy once, cry once, as they say. But people don't like this thing because of the handles. It feels cheap. I hate to say it, but it does. It feels cheap. When I picked up this thing is $41, but this thing feels like I could hammer on this, beat on it, whatever. This thing feels solid and heavy and rugged. This thing is $180, well, $170 plus tax and shipping and stuff. I mean, you're going to pay a lot of money for this thing. And this is one of the cheaper options out there for the Bugout. And it feels like if you squeeze it too hard, the handle's going to snap in half. It's not going to. It's not going to. That doesn't happen, but it feels like it. And there's a lot to be said for confidence of the grip. If you don't have a confidence in your grip, you know, that can lead to accidents, and it can lead to slip-ups and cuts and different things like that. It can lead to something that you're trying to cut or do a precise cut on something. If you don't have confidence in your grip and stuff like that, it can lead to all types of issues. You want to have a good, solid grip. You want to, when you're using a knife, you want to know that that knife is reliable and safe and durable. And yes, this knife is all of those things. I do not mean to say they are not durable and reliable. The Benchmade Bugout sells as many as it does for a reason. If they broke, if they were not reliable or durable, if these handles were snapping in half on people, we would have been hearing about it by now. They would have fixed the problem. They would not still be selling like they are. They are reliable. I do not mean to say they're not, but what I do mean to say is that people that don't like these things don't like them for one reason, and it's because of the handles. That's it. That's the facts. They don't like the handles. I don't like the handles. I do not like that flimsy feel. I like those rugged, strong. You all watch my videos. You already know this. I talk about it all the time. I like the rugged, strong, good, solid feel that I can grip up on that knife and I can go to town. Whatever I need to do, I can do it. If I need to take this knife, and it's the only knife I've got on me at the time, and I'm in a situation where I've really got to do some cutting, God forbid, I had to do some woodwork or something like that, you know, I just don't trust this thing because of the handles. So what are the options out there? What gives us some of the same features that Bugout gives us, maybe at less price, maybe at a more of an affordable price, maybe at rock bottom budget prices? Now, some of these options are not going to be the same quality or same locks, same flipping mechanisms, same prices, same anything, but they are similar in one way or another. So let's just run through them really quick. The first one, I've talked about this before. This is a great knife that's a budget knife. Look at this. Look at that. See the different, or see the similarities there? It's the Hunter Dozier, K-Bar Hunter Dozier. This knife is $36 right now, and it gives you the same cutting edge length almost exactly. It gives you a reversible pocket clip. It's still giving you those plasticky feeling FRN handles. They call it Zytail, but it's just FRN handles. Now this is a lockback. Now this is one of the most durable locking mechanisms that you can have. It's only got one thumb stud, but it is reversible. This is D2 steel, so D2 steel, it's nothing to cry about. I mean, D2 steel is going to be durable. It's a tool steel, so it's going to be tough and rugged, won't hold the edge, nowhere near this right here. But you can sharpen this a lot easier than you can this right here. But you're going to get the same type of cutting edge. You're going to get the same look, the same feel in your hands. You're going to get a lot of the same features that you get with the Benchmade Bugout. You're going to get with this. And I'm going to tell you, there ain't nothing that I can cut with this that I can't cut with this. There ain't a single job that I can do with this that I can't do with this. Yes, obviously there's a reason that this knife costs more money, and the fit and finish and the quality and the materials are definitely far beyond what you get in this knife. But I'm telling you, if you want the same opportunity of function, the same abilities and capabilities, this knife is going to do the same exact things that this knife will do. This is $36. This is $170. The blades are almost identical in length. The handles are so similar. Not even talking about the color. But here's the deal, and this is the truth. This is $170, this is $36. When I squeeze this, I don't feel like it's gonna snap in half. When I squeeze this, it feels like it's gonna snap in half. This is a $36 option that you can get that's going to give you a lot of the same qualities and abilities that this knife is going to get. You're not getting the name Benchmade. You're not getting the S30V steel. You're not getting the convenience of the axis lock. And obviously mine, you don't even have that convenience because it needs to be oiled so bad. But this is a light knife. It's not heavy at all. I think this is like 2.4 ounces or something like that. So it's still super light. You don't feel it. It's got a reversible pocket clip. It's, this is not deep carry. This one is. So there's some differences. But ultimately, I'm not going to go through all the exact specs on this because I just went through them on this and they're almost identical. And I just done this in another video a couple nights ago about 5 knives that would be great to start any collection with. This is a phenomenal knife. I can't recommend the Dozier Hunter enough, and this is K-Bar. K-Bar is just as storied and historical of a company, has just as much legacy and history as the Benchmade does. Benchmade is a phenomenal knife and phenomenal company, but I tell you right now, when they was storming the shores of Normandy, they wasn't using a Benchmade Bugout. They were using K-Bars. Now, obviously, this is not the K-Bar of the old days. This isn't the ones of yesteryears where you got that fixed blade. But K-Bar is a great company, and they make great product. And this right here is an excellent option if you're wanting to get the same abilities that you can get out of a Bugout at a far more affordable price. Give the Dozier an option. Give some thought. Give it some thought. I'm telling you, you would be happy. It's a great knife, and it's going to give you a lot of the same capabilities. The next knife is the only other knife that is not an access lock. And I'm going to be honest with you, I do not like this knife. But a lot of people compare this knife when they talk about the abilities and capabilities of it, and it is the Elementum. Again, another knife that has a similar blade, now the handle is shaped a little different, but it's about the same length. The Benchmade Bugout is a little bit longer. This is another knife with D2 steel. This is G10 handles over steel liners. This is a liner lock. This is an axis lock. This does have a deep carry pocket clip. that's only right-handed only. You can't reverse it. This has a reversible deep carry pocket clip. There is a lot of similarities in these two knives. A lot of similarities in these two knives. There's a lot of differences in these two knives. I'm not telling you knives that are exactly like the Benchmade Bugout. I'm not trying to do that. That's not what this video is. This is a video telling you different knives that give you the same abilities and capabilities that the Benchmade Bugout will at more affordable prices or in a different package or whatever. They all have at least something in common with the Bugout. There are no knives on here that are fixed blades that are a completely different look. They all are similar in some way. Now this is similar because of the blade length, the blade shape, the cutting edge, the feel in your hands, the size. This is a heavier knife. It's steel liners, G10 handles. This is not a Grivery handles with just partial steel liners. So this is a lot lighter. There are give and takes with everything. And in the knife world, there are give and takes with every knife. And I just wanted to show you another knife at a far more affordable price. You can get these at Walmart for around 50 bucks. But you put the blades together, you know, they're about identical. They're about identical. So you're getting the cutting edge that you would want with this. Well, not the edge, because this is S30 and this is D2, but you're getting the same cutting edge, and it's just a great affordable option that, I mean, they're selling a lot of Elementums for a reason. A lot of Elementums. A lot of the same things that people like about the Benchmade Bugout, you can do and get out of the Elementum. But those are just two knives that I wanted to show that didn't have the access lock. They were only similar because, well, this knife has a lot more similarities to it. A lot more similarities to it. This knife is similar because of the blade. The length of the knife overall and the shape of the blade and the cutting edge. So it's a great option. But those are the only two knives that don't have a lot more in common with them. Now, the next knife I'm going to tell you is a knife that I have not had long, and I was not that impressed with it in the very beginning. I was impressed with the knife overall, but I was really disappointed with the length of it, with the size of it. But this knife has grown on me massively, and now I love this knife. This is the Civivi Yonder. Now, this knife is not similar in blade shape. It's not similar in blade shape at all. So why would I recommend this knife? Why would I say that this knife is anything like the Bugout? Well, let's talk about it. For instance, you've got a phenomenal access lock, just like you've got in the Bugout. You've got a deep carry pocket clip, just like you do in the Bugout. This is reversible, just like in the Bugout. This has got Sandvik 14C28 steel. It's not S30V, but it's high quality steel. You know, it's a good stainless steel. It's made in Sweden. It's a Swedish stainless steel. This is a really light knife. It feels really good in the hands, especially if you have a smaller hand that's not big like mine. This is going to be a knife that, this is one of the most well-rounded EDC pocket knives on the market today. Not for a guy with a hand like mine, as big as mine, but the average size hands, this thing has so much going for it. This is, I mean, Zach Whitmore from Zach in the Wild designed this knife, and he wanted to design a knife that was similar to the Bugout, that had a lot of features that he would like, that was just a great overall knife. There was things about the Bugout that he was missing out on, that the Bugout didn't give him. Now, this wasn't his motivation, I'm not saying that, but I've watched videos where he has talked about designing this knife, and he mentions the Bugout a couple times because he's carried the Bugout a lot and on his outdoor adventures and stuff. And there was capabilities that that knife and other knives did not give him, and he wanted to come up with a knife that was similar to those knives, but it had more well-rounded features. And this is a great option. Again, you're still getting your deep carry pocket clip. You're still getting the access lock. dual thumb studs. Actually, I think the action on this knife is way better than my Bugout. Now, my Bugout, again, does need to be oiled, but even Bugouts that I've seen that are great, it's the action is phenomenal in them, but the action in this Yonder is as smooth as butter. Now, it's not as light as the Bugout. Let me see exactly what the length on this blade is. The overall length is 6.62 with a 2.88 inch blade. So it's a sub 3 inch blade. You're getting a lot of the same capabilities as the Bugout, but you can't carry this Bugout in a lot of areas because the blade is too long. So what would it be like to be able to carry a knife that's got a lot of the access lock, the pocket clip, the cutting edge, the weight, but you're actually able to carry it because it's a sub 3 inch blade? This is going to give you that option. So this is a great option for a lot of people, if no other reason than just for the fact that you can carry it in other areas where you can't carry the Bugout because of the length of the blade. It is it's called a Spey style blade, whatever that means. I have no idea, but it's green micarta handles, steel liners. Now, it is a little bit heavier at 2.7 ounces, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel the weight. I don't. And if you get one, you'll see exactly what I mean. I guess it's because it's so small. It just doesn't feel like it. 2.7 ounces, I wouldn't have guessed it was that much. I would have guessed it was about 2.1, 2.2. You know, just a tad bit more than a Bugout, but not much. But this is a great option. That reverse Tonto style tip right there. It's got good jimping on top. The one thing that I did not like about this knife when I opened it, other than the size, was the jimping. That's just cosmetic jimping right there, if you ask me, unless you're a hobbit with super small hands and fingers to where that jimping, you can feel it and it's aggressive. And if you've got any size fingers at all, that jimping is almost nothing but aesthetic, just for looks. I mean, it's almost not even worth having there. I hate the jimping on it, I'll be honest. But this is a great option to the Bugout. Yes, it's different shape and different looks, but it gives you the access lock, it gives you the pocket clip. Again, the same things I've already said. There's a lot of great things about this knife that you get in this knife, but the price on this knife is way better. I mean, you can get this knife right here. I think it's like, what is it? It's not even 60 bucks for this knife. Not even 60 bucks. And you're getting a lot of the things that you're getting out of that Bugout. That's a phenomenal knife. That's a great Christmas present right there, by the way. If you've got somebody who really likes knives and stuff like that, that's a great one. This next knife, this is actually a Tonto tip, and I wanted to do the drop point blade, but I can't find mine. And it is another Benchmade. Now this is the Griptilian. The reason I wanted to put the Griptilian on there is because of it being Benchmade, it being an access lock. You're not getting the weight, but here's the thing. When you get the drop point blade, it looks a lot like this. It's about the same length as this, but you are getting a blade. You're still getting Benchmade, so the quality, you're still getting the access lock, but you're getting a knife that doesn't have that cheap feel like that. I'm gonna snap it in half. You're going to take a hit on the pocket clip because it's not deep carry, but it is reversible. So there's a lot of things. If you want a Benchmade Bugout, but you don't like the feeling of the Bugout because of how cheap it feels, check out a Griptilian. I won't go into too much in-depth descriptions about the Griptilian because this one right here happens to be a Mel Pardue limited edition. You can see it's got skulls on the blades and stuff like that, but this is a Tonto tip instead of the drop point. And if it was my drop point, then I would go into more depth, but I don't want to tell you the stats on this knife because it would be wrong. But you're still getting the access lock, you're getting Benchmade quality, you're getting a good blade that is similar in size and shape and cutting abilities as this knife. S35VN, it's not S30V, but it's S35VN. One is tougher, one holds an edge better. But the reason I put this knife on here was this don't have the weight that this does. This is much, much heavier. But other than that, it's got a lot of the same things going on when you're talking about the drop point blade. You're talking about the axis lock, Benchmade, a lot of the same features in this knife that you get in this, but this one's just not as light. So if you do like this knife, but you do not like the feel in your hands, that it feels like it's going to snap in half, the Griptilian is an excellent, excellent choice. Now you can get a Griptilian for about $140, $150. Some are a little bit more, some are a little less, depending on the materials, but that's with all the knives. But the Griptilian is one of the best options on this table, because outside of the weight and the handle, one is that Grivery and one is actual Benchmade, those G10 handles or whatever this is, feels solid and strong and sturdy. But outside of that, you're getting a lot of the same features that you get in this thing right here. So I highly recommend the Griptilian. I've got a few Griptilians and I just couldn't find my drop point. I don't know where I've put it at around here. The next knife is an amazing, amazing knife. I cannot recommend this knife enough. It is the Iridium by Kershaw. This thing is fantastic. Now I do have the reverse Tonto tip, as they like to call it. Not the drop point, but the drop point blade actually looks a lot like this. But I'm not talking about the shape of the blade. That's not what is great about this that's similar to the Bugout. What is similar to the Bugout is a deep carry pocket clip that is reversible. You are getting a very light knife that's extremely agile and nimble. You're getting a lot of cutting edge there. You're getting a really reliable axis lock with phenomenal action and movement. Easy to manipulate. I do like the drop points. I got this one because it was a Blade HQ exclusive and stuff like that, and I like getting the exclusives. I've got an actual drop point on the way, and it's in the satin finish instead of this black stone washed. But I can't remember what blade steel this one is in, but this is a really, really good knife. It's light, it's durable, it gives you a lot of the same features that you like in that Bugout, and this one is $70. It's black micarta handles, it's D2 steel. That's what I thought it was. It's D2 steel. Again, it's nothing to sneeze at. D2 steel is great steel. It's got dual thumb studs. This is on, yeah, it's on bearings. 7.87 inches overall with a 3.5 inch blade. Now, what's the weight on this thing? Well, yeah, it is heavier. It's 3.3 ounces, so it is heavier. But to me, it's another one of those knives that you really don't feel the weight. You're going to get a lot of the great features out of this, but it doesn't feel. Now, if this was D2, or D2, listen to me, this is D2. If this was a drop point, you would see the similarities between the blades. But you're still getting the axis lock. You're still getting the action and the movement. You're still getting a light blade, dual thumb studs, reverse pocket clip, but you don't. The thing is, I keep going back to it. These knives don't feel like they're going to snap in half. You're getting a lot of the qualities and features, but you just feel more secure and more reliable. I hate to say that about this thing because it's a Benchmade Bugout and people love them. They just sell like hotcakes. But there are just as many people that don't like them because of the way they feel. This knife feels secure in your hand, and the Kershaw Iridium. Kershaw's a great name. I mean, Kershaw has a lot of great knives, and they're great names. And if you really want a quality knife, I mean, look at that, how similar those are. If this was the drop point blade, there are so many similarities there. So many similarities. The length, the shape. Yes, it is heavier, but it doesn't feel that much heavier. I mean, what's just over an ounce difference? I mean, you know, it's hard to really measure that just in your hands, the weight difference. Yes, can you tell a difference? Yeah, I guess you can, but it's not significant enough to risk. I'd much rather have the extra ounce in this and feel that rugged, good, strong grip than have that flimsy, cheap feeling. It feels cheap. It's not cheap, but it feels cheap. I hate it. I hate that feeling that it gives me. This next knife is probably, as far as looks goes, probably overall the closest to it, and I love this knife. It is the CJRB Hectare. This is another knife, access lock, deep carry pocket clip that is reversible. The screws are inset into the handles, so you're not going to feel them. It's got blue G10 handles with steel liner locks. Now they're milled steel liner locks, so they take a lot of that weight out. So it's going to lighten it up as much as possible. It definitely feels heavier than this. This is heavier than the Iridium. But look at that. See that? I mean, look at that. If you like the Bugout, but you don't like the price, you'll love the Hectare. It's a D2 steel. It's coated. It's got a purple Cerakote coating. I like the jimping on this. It goes farther up the blade, and it's got a thumb hole there for quick, easy access opening. It's got the orange hardware that pops against the blue and the purple. And of course, the blade and the deep carry pocket clip is purple. But the size, the length are very, very similar. It looks very similar. Yes, obviously you can definitely tell just by looking at it that it's not a Bugout, but there's a lot of similarities to this. And if you like the look of the Bugout, then you're going to like the look of this for the most part. I mean, it's going to be hard for somebody to say, oh yeah, I like the look at that. Oh, but that's an ugly knife. I mean, take the colors away. Just the shape and everything else. I mean, they're very, very similar. Very similar. And they give you a lot of the same capabilities. And that's what it comes back to, it over and over and over. The capabilities is what it's all about. Capabilities. What can you do with this that you can't do with this? So if you're still getting the similar shape, the similar axis lock, action. Gosh, that action is just so bad. I apologize, guys. I should take better care of my knives. I didn't realize it was that bad. I'll definitely oil that. But, I mean, you're able to do everything with this that you can with that. If you like the Bugout, this is a great knife. It's a great option. And the great thing about this is this ain't even $50, and it's a CJRB. Actually, this ain't D2 steel. I apologize. This is not D2 steel. I backpedal. I said D2 steel about this because so many of these knives are D2 steel. This is the RPM 9. This is CJRB's their powder steel RPM 9. If you saw that in the comments and you caught it, please let me know down in the bottom. Hey, when you said that, I caught that. I appreciate it. Give me that feedback. I got too ahead of myself and wasn't paying attention, and it is the CJRB steel that they do. Now the length is almost identical to it, 7.35 inches with a 3.15 inch blade. So the length and the size of this is really, really close to the Bugout, really close. Now the difference is the weight, 3.1 ounces. 1.89, I think it was, 3.1. So it's over an ounce difference. But man, there's just so many things about this knife that are similar to this Bugout. So many things. If you like the Bugout, but you don't want to pay the price, but you want a more secure feeling, this is a great option. And I like the look of it too. I think that's a really pretty blade. That blue with the purple blade and that orange hardware, it pops. It looks really good. Now, I do have to say, I love the look of this. This is a pretty knife to me. I like the look of that blade. I like the look of this blue. Obviously, go Big Blue Nation. I'm a big blue fan. Go Kentucky. C-A-T-S, cats, cats, cats. I bleed blue. So I love this knife, the looks of it, but that's, you know, there's a lot of things about this knife that I don't like. The next knife, the last knife that I'm going to show you, is the knife that I don't recommend at all, but it's very, very similar. The blade shape is different, but there's a lot of things about this that are similar. And it is the Hogue Deca. Now, let's go over some similarities. Deep carry pocket clip that's reversible. This has got magna cut steel. It has got the axis lock with dual thumb studs. What else is there? Talk about light. Oh my gosh, this thing is light. I think this might actually be lighter than the Bugout. Let me see. The weight on this, no, it's just a tad bit heavier. It's 2.1, tad bit heavier. Wow, that doesn't feel it. It feels like this is heavier, but I guess this is. But here's the deal. Look at those. Similar length. Both of them are extremely light. But here's another thing that they've got in common. Both of them have the cheapest filling handles that you could imagine. This thing feels cheap. Now, I do know of these things snapping in half. I actually have somebody in my comment section that was talking about it, and I was talking with them about the Decas and about how disappointed I am about the Deca, about how cheap it feels, how light it feels, you know, different things like that. I wanted to put this in here, not to recommend it, but to show you different options that are out there. If you do like this knife because of the weight and the axis lock, but you don't like the grivery handles or anything like that, but you like the weight, you like the axis lock, you like the dependable steel, you know, but you don't want to pay the price. With this, you get a super light knife, axis lock, very good steel, magna cut steel, deep carry pocket clip. You're getting a lot of the same features. Similar in length, similar in a lot of areas. This thing is sub 140. I think it's 139. But here's the thing. This thing feels even cheaper in the hands than this thing does. This thing feels like it's going to snap in half, but it has some resistance to it. These handles feel like there's no resistance at all. I mean, they just feel cheap. Now, what people are doing is they're actually buying the Deca, and then they're getting the aftermarket titanium scales and handles, and they're putting them on it, and they're turning it into an awesome knife. And once they do, it is an awesome looking knife. But I don't want to pay $140 for a knife, then have to pay $100 for the scales to put them on it. I'd rather just get a titanium handled knife and pay the $300. You know, the Hogue Deca is, you know, Hogue makes some really great automatic knives and out the front knives. Hogue is a very reliable, good company knife manufacturer, and they have some great knives out there. The Deca has a good reputation. It has, they sell a lot of these things, but I do not like it because it gives me the same feeling that this knife does. But what this video is about is giving you options like the Bugout. There are different things out there that will give you one or two things that this gives you. You know, every knife on this table gives you something that this gives you, but it gives it to you at a different price and with a more secure feeling. This knife gives you a lot of things that the Bugout gives you at a more affordable price, magna cut steel, deep carry pocket clip, gives the axis blade, or the axis lock, I'm sorry. But the reason I don't recommend this is because if you're getting away from this knife because of the feeling in your hand, then you don't want to go to this knife that feels the same way in your hand. There are a lot of things about this knife that, in my opinion, are better. I like the S30V is great, but the Magna Cut is probably a little bit better. Yeah, that's probably about it. It's probably about it. Other than that, the Bugout's probably a better knife all the way around. That's why they cost what they do. The warranty are great on them and stuff like that on both of them, but there's a lot of similarities in these two knives, and you can see the similarities. There's a lot of things that are in common. If you do like, so this is just to the people that do like the light feeling and the feeling in the hand and the good quality steel and the fact that it's a slicer. The people that do like that about the Bugout, because not everybody's like me. Not everybody wants that big, firm, heavy, sturdy feeling in the knife. Some people do appreciate what the Bugout has to offer. That's why they sell as many as they do. A lot of people don't like them, but a lot of people do. So if you're one of those people that do like the Bugout, then you're probably going to love the Deca, because it's a more affordable price. It's like 40, 50 bucks cheaper with Magna Cut steel. And you're still getting a lot of great things that the Bugout gives you. There are so many options. It doesn't matter what knife it is. Any knife that's out there, there are comparable quality options to compare it to. Every knife. If you like a really good high-end knife, but you don't want to pay that price, I guarantee you there's some other knives out there that's going to be really close to that, whether it be in look, shape, materials, the feeling of it, at better prices. Or maybe there's a knife that you really, really like, it, but there's just that one thing about it that you don't like. Otherwise, it would be the perfect knife for you. I guarantee you, if you look around, you can find a knife that has all of those features that you love, minus the one feature that you hate. You just have to look. If there's any knives like that that you're wanting compared, let me know in the comment section. If there's a knife that you want, but you need to find a more affordable option that compares to it, let me know in the comments. If there's one of these knives that you think is a great match or alternative to the Bugout, let me know in the comments. If you think this is a crappy video and none of these knives are comparable to the Bugout, let me know in the video. Either way, I appreciate everybody that watches my videos. I appreciate all the feedback that you give me. I apologize I went a little bit long, but I did do an unboxing as well as doing this comparison. So thank you all very much. Remember my contest. Like, subscribe, leave a comment on any of my videos. You're going to be in that contest, and you might win a $200 budget on January 3rd, 2025. I can't wait for that day. I cannot wait to give somebody that thing, that gift, and that way of saying thank you. So until then, guys, like I always say, I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad. I'll see you next time. And until then, keep your lives full and your knives sharp. Thank you all. From the bottom of my heart, God bless you.